watching KSL Sports Live.
All right, it was a night to remember last night at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And tonight on KSL Sports Live, we'll look back on Utah's big win over 7th-ranked USC.
Yeah, we know BYU fans are pretty frustrated, too, with yesterday's performance against Arkansas. So where do the Cougars go from here? And what changes will Kalani make? We'll hear his answers on that coming up a bit later on as well. This season for Utah football, it's been pretty similar to last season, right? At least the feeling does. The circumstances are not exactly the same here, but still, after a tough Pac-12 loss on the road, the Utes could still get their way to conference championship game, but they had to take that first big step, and they did so last night against the 7th-ranked Trojans. They exchanged blow for blow with USC. USC scoring on the first 3 possessions of the game and holding the lead all the way until the final minute. And then when the game was on the line, there's no doubt who Kyle Whittingham wanted with the ball in his hands.
We called a play that the ball would be in his hands to either, find an open receiver or tuck it and get in the end zone, and he did just that. He has been so incredible for us ever since he took over in game 4, whatever it was last year. It's just been a great feeling to have him at the controls of the offense.
Cam Rising did just about everything in this game, becoming the first Utah quarterback since Brian Johnson in 2005 to pass for more than 400 yards in a game. Rising finished with 415 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also rushed for 60 yards and 3 touchdowns, including that game-winning 2-point conversion. And his favorite target was tight end Dalton Kincaid. What a special night he had. 16 receptions on 16 targets, second all-time, and the most by a tight end. And he had 234 yards receiving, also second most in Utah history.
Every time we get in the huddle, this dude kind of takes over, says a few things, and we just kind of roll from there.
I just love his leadership. He's always the one that's bringing the group together, especially when we're going through adversity. Having that guy that can be vocal and bringing up the guys is what we need in tough situations.
Just the relationship that we've been developing ever since he stepped on campus in 2020, and you see what he did tonight when he touches the ball like that. He makes plays and he extends them, and he can do it all, so we just got to make sure that we're getting him the ball.
It really was a special night, a game that the Utes dedicated to the life and legacy of late teammates Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe. The team wore those special helmets that honored the two with portraits and, of course, the TJAL logos on the back. After the game, they said those helmets were good reminders to battle back for that win.
I love these kind of games because it shows who's more knit as a team, who stays together in tough situations, and I felt like that's what is the difference today. Having Ty and Aaron on the side of our helmets, that was another reminder of why we had to stay resilient, because that game was for them. Having
Ty and Aaron on your helmet, it just makes it that much easier to go and just dig deep and do everything you can to try and get the dub.
All right, now to soccer. Last Sunday, on the final day of the regular season in Major League Soccer, Real Salt Lake squeezed its way into the MLS Cup playoffs with a 3-1 win over the Portland Timbers.
Yeah, now a road contest against the second-best team in the West in the first round of the playoffs here.
Yeah, Real Salt Lake taking on Austin FC, the second seed in the West in just their second season of competition. RSL with a hot start, though. 3rd minute, Sergio Cordova with the header for the 1-0 lead. How about this? Then in the 15th minute, Cordova with the penalty kick. RSL led 2-1 at the half.
It took only 7 minutes into the second half for RSL to be dealt a serious blow, though, to the roster. Rubio Rubin with the hard tackle. He's going to be given his 2nd yellow card of the game. You know what that means. That equals the red card. RSL playing a man down the rest of the way. They nearly held off Austin FC. A handball here, though, called in the box in the 2nd minute of stoppage time. And Sebastian Driussi, he scores the equalizer 2-2.
So this game would stay tied at 2 through overtime, and we go to a shootout where Marcelo Silva with the first attempt in the shootout, he's going to put it in. Austin would match that with another goal. Driussi gets it again. What a day he had. Then the RSL would miss their next 3 attempts. Andrew Brody, Brandon Ojeda, and Tate Schmidt all missing. Oh, badly. Ugh, that's a bad way for the season to end. Real Salt Lake, the season's over. They lose 3-1 in the shootout.
I think the guys did themselves extremely proud. I think when we were 11s, we played some fantastic stuff, and when we had to step up because we were playing with 10, I couldn't be more proud of the desire and the resolve to really overcome a really difficult team to play against.
Everybody, bought into it, the mentality of we need to get behind the ball and we need to defend. They threw a lot of numbers forward, as they should, being down a goal and a must-win. and we were 2 minutes away. It just sucks that we couldn't hold on for those last 2 minutes, because I thought we were fantastic, and I'm super proud of the guys that were out there on the field giving everything they have.
This time in trouble, steps up, throws, open man, easy touchdown.
Coming off a disappointing loss to Arkansas, we try to diagnose why the BYU defense is struggling. Are changes coming?
Rising up the middle, he's in!
We'll take another look at the Utes' big last-minute win against USC. Sly's in the studio and we'll break down the game film with us. You don't want to miss any of that, plus more locals in the NFL when KSL Sports Live returns.
You're watching KSL Sports Live.
The Yankees facing elimination tonight against the Guardians in Game 4 of the AL Divisional Series. Top second, up a run, and Harrison Bader triples their total. It's a 2-run homer to left. Yankees take the 3-0 lead. Here come the Guardians, though. Down 3-1 in the fourth. Josh Naylor golfs one to the bullpen and right. Solo homer cuts the lead to 1, but the Yankees pitching, they would hold off any further damage. Wandy Peralta closes the door. Series tied at 2 with the Yankees win.
Saturday is likely the last time we'll ever see USC in Rice-Eccles Stadium, and the Utes made sure to give the Trojans a proper send-off. One of the most thrilling games to ever take place in that stadium.
Yeah, the Utes saved their Pac-12 title hopes, and once again, they honored Aaron Lowe and Ty Jordan in the process. Here's a look back at the sights and sounds from a night to remember.
Special night. Stevenson Sylvester joins us now. You still got goosebumps?
Always. Yeah, last night was electric. I loved it.
That was a lot of fun. All right. If you got to pick one person in this game who was the difference, I'm going with Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah.
16 catches, 234 yards, and a touchdown, Sly. We saw him do it. I want you to show us how he was able to do that.
Man, well, first, Cam Rising was carving them up all over the place. Dalton Kincaid did an amazing job in the first quarter, which made USC double-team him. And so in doing so, opened things up for Devon Bailey and Money Parks. So USC realized we can't double-team him. So in the second half, Dalton Kincaid just went off. He went in man coverage here. Here they did put him in the slot, so he had a two-way go, put him in man, but he created separation and made an easy catch over the middle. Here they want to go zone, and so now that he doesn't have a guy in his face, he sets up the first down markers right here. The linebacker kept drifting. They found him, and then in this game he had 95 total yards after catch.
Wow.
Right? And that's some people's whole game. This guy did an amazing job. And so you can put him all over the field here. Here they have him in the Y-off position, and they sneak him out. It's 3rd and 1, and the defense is selling on run. He sneaks out the backside, gets behind these guys easy, and then here you see the yards after catch here. Dalton Kincaid was awesome last night. Gave them everything that they needed to pull out the win in the end.
All right, Utes now get a well-deserved break before they go to Washington State a week from Thursday. You're back here in a moment to break down BYU. Sam?
Yeah, speaking of BYU, things not going so great in Provo right now. Not only has BYU failed to live up to the lofty expectations set by the program for this season, but after yesterday's 52-35 loss to Arkansas, it's left Cougar Nation wondering if it's time to make some serious changes as well. Specifically on the defense, BYU gave up 644 yards of total offense to the Razorbacks. After being held on the first 2 drives, Arkansas scored on 8 straight series. Quarterback KJ Jefferson, 367 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Bad defense has been a trend the past few weeks. Will Kalani make any changes from a coaching standpoint this week? Will he take over defensive play calling responsibilities?
Yeah, we've done that before as a program. I think this is my 7th season, so there's times that we have to do that, and I'm involved in it. But I don't think I'm ready to answer that question right now. But I know that that's an option.
It's going to be a tough few days with some honest conversations with ourselves and with just the coaches and everybody. We got to step up. We didn't do the job today. There's some things that we definitely could do differently, do better. And that's my job. I'm the head coach. I got to figure this out.
Well, a good starting point would probably be 3rd down defense. 2 weeks ago against Notre Dame, BYU allowed the Irish to convert 11 of 16 third downs. On Saturday, BYU didn't get any better, giving up 12 first downs on 15 third down attempts, a stat that even had Coach Sitake perplexed after the game.
3rd down is the only down that comes to defense, so you got to get off and giving up 12, just not. They converted 12 out of 15. That's not good defense. Not good. It's not good enough. Not even close. If we go half of that, holding a 7 out of 15, then maybe we have a chance.
Let's bring Sly's expert eye and analysis back in to help us understand what happened in Provo yesterday. And we're going to continue with that topic of 3rd down defense. Obviously, if you can't get the defense off the field, you're not going to give your offense too many chances. But where it really hurt was in the red zone. Yeah, no question. They had a lot of mental issues, a lot of MAs is what we call them, is missed assignments in that red zone. But it really started with their pre-snap alignments. They weren't aligning themselves for success, especially down here in the red zone. Here, they scored majority of their points in the red zone. But here, Josh Wilson doesn't do a good job with pre-snap alignment. He's too close to the line of scrimmage, so he can't sort out these guys that are changing. But if he moves slightly over, he would be able to see this guy going right in front of him and take him. Because in that set, the offense wants to confuse you. It's called the trips bunch set. Here, there's just a different way to get to the trips bunch set. They started in motion, so they understood who was in man, and then created a natural pick. So in motion, they understand that Ethan Slade here is the man cover guy, but he starts too deep. He needs to be up here, right behind the line of scrimmage, anticipating this guy coming out in the backfield. He doesn't do that. He gets caught in a natural picks situation here on this route, and he's already behind. This is exactly the number one option in that route combination. So they got to align themselves for success. Now here, they do it right? They get the trips bunch look again, but they don't believe it. Freshman Talon Alfred right here, look, he's got first, he's got second, and he's got third. They finally pass it out. He's got the first inside, and then he's supposed to just take him, but he doesn't do that. Look, he freezes right here, hesitates. Even if he didn't freeze right there, he could still recover and make a play, but these guys didn't sort out, and those are just young guys in this defense trying to make a play, and they got to trust the technique. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what decisions they do make as they get ready now for Liberty on the road. All right, Sly, you'll be back again in a bit to talk about some more with the NFL. But you know what? I just looked at my calendar slide. I did a double take. The Utah Jazz season opens on Wednesday night. They tip off the Will Hardy era against the Denver Nuggets. A lot of new faces to go with those new uniforms. One of them, Colin Sexton, who was actually at the Shoot 360 in Lehigh earlier this week at an all-girls basketball clinic. It was a day that left smiles on a lot of faces, including Sexton's.
Oh, no, I didn't get to do one of these as a kid, and I think that's what something that drives me to always want to give back and always want to do things like this, because I enjoy it. Like, I was smiling from ear to ear right when I walked in, just because of the energy and how they welcomed me, and that's something that I always wanted to do when I was younger, and now I have the opportunity and the platform to do it.
Stockton in a hurry. Malone.
One of Karl Malone's best hammer dunks. Opening night for the 1989-90 season is our archive this week. November 3rd, 1989 in the Salt Palace. Denver Nuggets, the opponent. Before there was Amazon Prime, it was the mailman that delivered every night. 40 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot 72% from the field. John Stockton had that buzzer beater 3 of his 23 points. He also had 19 assists and 3 steals. That's how you become the all-time leader in both of those categories. Each and every game. Thurl Bailey, 23 points off the bench, and the Jazz beat the Nuggets 122 to 113. Coming up next, we choose another hometown hero. Weber State, great. The Wildcats moved to 6-0 on the season with a 42-7 win at Portland State. It's just the second time in school history that the Wildcats have started a season 6-0. The other was in 1968. It's the Wildcats' 8th straight road win. They racked up 553 yards of total offense while holding Portland State to just 167. 274 yards passing and 3 touchdowns for Bronson Barron. Now the 6th-ranked Wildcats visit the 4th-ranked Montana State Bobcats in a big Sky Clash on Saturday.
That's going to be a great one. Well, how about Utah State beginning to build some positive momentum after picking up its 2nd straight win? A 17-13 final over Colorado State in Fort Collins. True freshman quarterback Bishop Davenport passed for 41 yards and rushed for 21 yards and a touchdown, leading the Aggies to the victory after both Cooper Legas and Levi Williams left with injuries. And on defense, led by Daniel Grishak's 3 sacks, they allowed just 3 second-half points in that win. All right, time now for this week's Hometown Hero, brought to you by Brent Brown Toyota. You know, there were some great performances by former Utah high school stars this week, but BYU wide receiver Puka Nakua's day stood out above the rest. On Saturday afternoon, Puka reminded us all just how talented he is when he's healthy and on the field. He was quickly become one of Aaron Roderick's favorite options inside the opponent's 10-yard line. Nakua with 2 touchdown runs, but he also had a monster day receiving. 8 receptions, ties a career high, and 141 yards, his second most in his career. He also pulled in his first touchdown pass of the season. You know, he's been doing this for years, though. Do you remember his senior season at Orem High School? Nakua pulled in 103 receptions, second most in a season in state history. His 26 touchdowns is still a state record, and so are the 2,336 receiving yards that he had that year. In that season, he also had a game where he had 321 receiving yards, which also remains the state record for him.
All right, the high school football regular season has come and gone. 10 weeks went by really fast.
Yeah, they did. Now the real fun begins, though, with the playoffs. But before we turn the page to that, we recap the best of Week 10
6 p.m. we recognize the top 5 plays of the week from Utah high school football.
It's a segment we love to call the Game Night 5, and here we go. We count backwards, so of course we start with number 5. The Sky Ridge special teams, they were special. Jay Stallman with the block punt, the scoop, and the score. The Falcons with a 37-0 win over American Fork. They're the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
Caught it on the bounce. How about that? Lehigh completed an undefeated 10-0 regular season and a region championship with a win over Orem on Game Night Live. This is Lehigh safety Cadian Sweat with the pick 6. Cuts it back the other way. He also returned a kickoff return for a touchdown. And the Pioneers' 55-21 win.
Lucky number 3, Timpanogos receiver Luke Livingston. Check out the feet. Like Mikhail Baryshnikov himself. The perfect toe tap pointed down for the touchdown.
A Mikhail Baryshnikov reference on KSL Sports Live. I like it. Hey, Syracuse clinched an outright Region 1 title with a win over Farmington. This interception on the chip drill from Levi Stowe is our number 2 play of the week. He somehow scooped it up before it hit the ground. One more look. So close. Wow, what a play. Syracuse, what a season.
Okay, so the number 1 play from Week 10 comes to us from Juab. Wide receiver Justin Stevens here. Watch the full extension dive. Keeps his hands under the ball and pins it to his helmet for the catch. Juab finishes 10-0. They're the number 1 seed in 3A going into the playoffs here.
They are going to be tough to beat. Let the playoffs begin. Round 1 action gets underway Saturday across the state. For the first time ever, Game Night Live is coming to Payson High School. The Lions earn the number 12 seed in 5A. They'll host the number 21 seed Olympus Titans. It kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday. I'll be on the call with Stevenson Sylvester and Mariluz Cook. You can watch it live on the KSL TV app, KSL Sports app, or KSLSports.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your week and good luck to all the teams.